Richard Oppenlander, comfortably unaware, what we choose to eat is killing us and our planet. And comfortably unaware, Richard Oppenlander enlightens us on the catastrophic consequences of our food choices, particularly our consumption of meat, dairy, and seafood. This eye-opening book divulges the impact of livestock farming on global warming, deforestation, and resource depletion, as well as the alarming loss of biodiversity in rainforests and our oceans due to unsustainable practices. Consumers are empowered to make conscientious choices, realizing that the decisions made on a personal level ripple outward, affecting people and creatures around the world. Prepare to dive into startling facts and alarming statistics that will reshape your understanding of the true cost of our dietary habits to Earth's fragile ecosystems.
Rethinking food for climate. Kudos to you for conserving water, electricity, and using public transportation after reading an inconvenient truth. But addressing global warming demands more attention to our food choices, particularly meat, fish, and dairy. Greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, contribute to global warming. Between 1750 and 2006, atmospheric carbon dioxide rose by 35%, while in the past 15 years, methane levels surged by 145%, a gas 23 times more potent than carbon dioxide. The primary cause of this methane increase? The rise in livestock. In fact, human-generated methane from livestock equals 40% and produces 65% of human-generated nitrous oxide, a gas with 310 times the global warming impact of carbon dioxide. The broader issue is global depletion, the shrinking of renewable and non-renewable resources. Even renewable resources like trees require ample time for replenishment, and our current rate of resource consumption isn't giving nature that opportunity. Upcoming sections will reveal how our food industry is fast-tracking global depletion. Our cheeseburgers' environmental price. It's easy to ignore the environmental consequences of indulging in a cheeseburger, but the vast resources consumed by livestock production have serious ecological implications. Massive rainforest areas are destroyed for cattle ranching. We have lost over 70% of the Amazon rainforest to this industry, and the global rainforest coverage has dropped from 15% to 2% just in the past 50 years. Known as Earth's lungs, rainforests play a vital role in recycling carbon dioxide and producing oxygen. Additionally, they house millions of species, including numerous plants with cancer-fighting properties, such as vincristine. A shift toward preserving rainforests will not only protect the environment, but also the unique array of life and invaluable resources they provide. Livestock's impact on world hunger. Livestock farming consumes an enormous amount of resources, including land and grain, resources that could be used to address global starvation. In the United States alone, 70% of grown grain is utilized to feed livestock. This allocation of resources has direct consequences on global human hunger. In 2009, 6 million children died of starvation. A striking example of such failure in resource distribution is Ethiopia's 1986 food shortage, where large quantities of grains produced in the country were being exported to nurture livestock in Europe, rather than feeding the hungry population. Furthermore, raising livestock leads to land depletion and desertification, as seen in Africa, where 500 million people have experienced severe environmental damage caused by livestock overgrazing. Ultimately, the continuous demand for animal-based food exacerbates resource scarcity and global hunger. Water wastage in livestock industry. The livestock industry is putting enormous pressure on our planet's water resources, with 70 billion animals demanding far more water than humans. For example, a person needs only 6 to 8 ounces of water daily, while a pig needs 21 gallons, and a cow requires 30 gallons. This translates to an astonishing 5,000 gallons of water for just 1 pound of meat, compared to 20 to 60 gallons for a pound of fruits, vegetables, soybeans, or grains. Uneaten meat consumption saves more water than completely avoiding showers for a year. Our fresh water isn't infinite, only 2.5% of Earth's water is accessible, and with excessive agricultural use, we are rapidly depleting our reserves. At our current usage rate, it's predicted that water supplies will be exhausted by 2020, leaving Earth deprived of a non-renewable, essential resource. Seafood's impact on ocean life. It is essential to examine our seafood consumption and its detrimental effect on the oceans in order to become environmentally conscious. Overfishing is a major issue, with most fish species either overfished or fully depleted. This is exacerbated by insufficient regulations for fishing practices. Deep-sea fishing, specifically heavy-bottom trawling, is responsible for severe damage to marine ecosystems. Targeting deep-sea species, this method involves dragging large nets along sea beds over underwater geological formations that harbor a majority of marine life, including corals and thousands of other species. These fragile ecosystems can take centuries to recover. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations reports that 70% of all fish species are either depleted or overfished. Furthermore, enormous nets used in bottom trawling cause countless unnecessary deaths among other sea creatures. In 2009 alone, the UN discloses that captured sea creatures far outnumbered the 106 million tons of reported fish caught. Shrimp fishing is the most egregious example, with more than 20 pounds of non-targeted sea life killed and discarded for every pound of shrimp captured. Livestock's environmental toll. Livestock production greatly impacts our environment, polluting our water and air, in a manner far surpassing human activity. For instance, U.S. factory farms produce 130 times more excrement than the entire human population does, largely contributing to water pollution due to its contaminants such as antibiotics, pesticides, and hormones. A whopping 33% of poisonous phosphorus and nitrogen found in freshwater originates from livestock. Moreover, livestock is responsible for 20% of greenhouse gas emissions, surpassing the 13% produced by global transportation, while also releasing methane, nitrous oxide, ammonia, and carbon through waste. Aquafarming presents similar problems, with fish feces in overcrowded enclosures spreading cancer-causing dioxins throughout the food chain. In British Columbia, 1 year of salmon farming produced the same amount of nitrogen as the untreated sewage of 682,000 people. The wide use of antibiotics, pesticides, and copper in fish farming poses additional threats to our health and environment.
Richard Oppenlander's Comfortably Unaware offers a sobering reflection on how our food choices significantly contribute to global depletion and habitat destruction. From deforestation to desertification, food-related environmental impacts are far-reaching and, in many cases, irreversible. We discover that our consumption habits currently prioritize animal agriculture at the expense of our natural resources, resulting in the rapid depletion of fresh water, land, and biodiversity. In order to protect our planet for future generations, we must not only reduce meat and dairy consumption, but also challenge our seafood consumption and its destructive impact on ocean life. Ultimately, as responsible consumers, we must make a conscious effort to understand the consequences of our choices and transform our diets to safeguard our precious resources and the well-being of our planet.